talking with a friend a little while back about how I thought it would be easier to die a martyr, to die for your faith, than it is oftentimes to live the simple daily rules, day-to-day things. And as I was thinking about this idea, it occurred to me that this is actually maybe the root of the problem of religious extremism, that religious extremism is a counterfeit to true religion and faith. And to express this idea and the difference between them, I wanted to liken it to a relationship. Imagine a relationship where one party will oftentimes make grandiose gestures of love, writing poems, taking you to a beach or whatever you have like that, but won't do ordinary daily things to show their love, to be respectful to their partner, to wash dishes. You could clearly tell that this relationship isn't actually based on love. Whatever it isn't a really loving relationship. And that's what I think the trap people fall into and become religious extremists. They can gain the benefit, the nice feeling of being a good religious person by making grandiose sacrifices, by dying for a cause or going to war for a cause or what have you, but they never develop the actual attributes that religion seeks to make someone become. True religion is about becoming a saintly person, to develop the virtues that we see in Christ, or to become more like the heroic ideal. And religious extremism, or this focus on grandiose sacrifices, doesn't actually accomplish that. It only requires you to make large sacrifices that are visible, that are oftentimes temporary or high stakes, but doesn't require you to make the daily changes in becoming a different person, the truly painful things to give up. It doesn't change you into a saintly person. It doesn't require you to going on a mission and doing service. Well, great, and I'm not knocking that down. I'm not saying that isn't a great thing. What it doesn't do is necessarily change your life after your mission. And this is why I think some people fall away, is that they're caught up in making this great gesture when they're not internalizing the change that has to come to their soul. It's easy to dedicate those 2 years, and then becomes harder when you have to serve the Lord and there's so much else going on in your life. It's more difficult to look for small opportunities for service than it is to put on a name tag and serve every day. It's more difficult to internalize and become Christ-like than it is to act that way temporarily, or act that way when there's enormous social pressure to do so, when there's a social situation set up to encourage it. True religion is about the small things you do when no one's looking, when there's no pressure to do so. It's about seeing what a virtuous person does, specifically Christ and others, and imitating those virtues until they become part of yourself entirely. Now, I don't mean to subtract anything from the great sacrifices that are necessary. but they are not sufficient. It's far easier to die a martyr than it is to live a saint.